In this short video, we're going to look at finding the area of a composite figure by using subtraction. So if we were to look at this rectangle at the top here in blue, and we were to find the area of the total rectangle, and then take away part of that rectangle, and find now the area of just the part that's remaining, that's kind of the work we're going to be doing together today. So it's looking at a whole rectangle and then subtracting a part so that we can find the area of the remaining part. So in this case, we are going to find the area of the shaded part of the shape. It almost looks like it could be made up of two rectangles. Here's one, here's two, and then actually this looks like a rectangle two, so three rectangles. So made up of three rectangles, but we're going to use subtraction to find the area. So the first step in this process will be to find the area of the large rectangle. So we're going to focus on this entire part, this entire rectangle outlined in black. Okay, so to do that, we first need to find the length of the large rectangle. So again, I'm going to make it a little bit thinner so I can see my side measurements. Okay, so let's look at the length. We have 2 yards, 4 yards, and 2 yards. If I add those together, that will give me the length of that side. So 2 plus 4 plus 2 gives me 8 yards. So I know the length of the large rectangle is 8 yards. Now we're going to find the width. Well, that's pretty easy because it tells us right here this is 6 yards. So I know the width is 6 yards. And now I can find the area because I know the area is length, 8 yards, times width, 6 yards. And so the area of the large rectangle would be 48 square yards. That's this entire inner space. Okay, the measurement of that inner space would be 48 square yards. Now, because we want to find the area of just the shaded part, now we need to find the area of, let me erase this. Now we need to find the area of the small rectangle. So let me highlight that for us in red. Now we're going to find the area of, this guy. Okay, so the area of the small rectangle, we know that length of this small rectangle would be 4 yards because there's that side, 4 yards. And the width would be 3 yards. And the reason I know it's 3 yards is because I can look over here and see that this line, if I were to scoot it over here, would line up perfectly with, is it BH? So that would be 3 yards. So 4 times 3 gives me 12 yards square, or 12 square yards. So the area inside of this small rectangle is 12 square yards. So now the last step I have is to find the difference. I want to take the total square yards, or the total area of the large rectangle, and subtract the smaller rectangle. And so 48 minus 12 gives me 36 square yards. So the remaining space, the shaded part, this pink space, just the pink space, the area of that pink space would be 38 square yards. Okay, so just to review, first we found the area of the large rectangle, then we found the area of the small rectangle, we subtracted the two to find the shaded part. Let's look at this next problem type. This is talking about a table. Okay, I'm going to outline our table in brown. And so they said we have a table, and when they put a piece of fabric on the table, I'm going to outline that fabric in blue. They lay this piece of fabric on the table that is 80 inches by 60 inches, but after they put that fabric down on the table, there's a margin around it. So there's some space around it, and I'll kind of highlight that in black. Here's the margin left after they place the fabric on the table. So we are going to find the area of the table not covered by the fabric, not covered by the fabric. So we're looking for this space that I've kind of scribbled around in black. We're looking for that white space I've kind of scribbled in there in black. That's the area we're looking for. So to do that, let's take it step by step. First, let's find the area of the table. So that whole rectangle in brown, we're looking for that space inside of the table. So if I kind of color it in, that's the space we're looking for. So if we find the length of the table, the length is going to be this side down here, right? So I would have to add 5 inches plus 80 inches plus 5 inches. So I know that's going to be 90 inches. So the length is 90 inches. And the width would be 560 plus 5. So 5 plus 60 plus 5. So the width would be 70 inches. So now I can find the area because I just need to multiply 90 times 70. And then if I multiply 90 times 60, 9 times 7 is 63. And I have 2 zeros in my factor, so I need 2 zeros in my product. So it would be 6,300 square inches would be the measurement of the area of the table. Now the next step is going to be to find the area of the fabric. So I know how much space the table takes up, but now I need to figure out what is the area of the fabric or the space inside of that inner rectangle. So I need to take the length of the fabric times the width, and to do that I need to find my measurements here. So I can see that this line segment right here, this 80, if I were to slide that up, that perfectly matches that side length. So that tells me that the length of the fabric is 80 inches. And again, over here on the side, if I take this measurement and slide it in, I can see it matches perfectly. So the width is 60. So 80 times 60, well, I know that 8 times 6 is 48. There's 2 zeros in my factors, so there have to be 2 zeros in my product. So the area of the fabric would be 4,800 square inches. So last step, we need to find the area that's not covered by the fabric. So we take the total area of the table, and we take away the part of the table that is covered by the fabric, and that should leave us with the area that is not covered by the fabric. So 0, 0, regroup, 5 minus 4 is 1, so 1,500 square inches are not covered by the fabric. So just a little review, when you are finding a part of an area, start by finding the total area. So remember over here we found the area of the whole rectangle first, and then we took away or subtracted the area of the smaller rectangle, and that gave us the area that was shaded in, that pink area. In our second example, we found the total area of the table, and then we found the area of just the fabric, the area of the table that was covered by fabric. Then we subtracted those two amounts to find the area of the table that was not covered by fabric, or that white space outside the fabric.